They say you can't love someone else until you learn to love yourself. I used to roll my eyes at that. Thought it was just another empty quote floating around the internet. But now, after everything I've lived through, I get it. I really do. My name's Malik. I'm 34 years old. And this is the story of the day I chose myself. It started in silence. Not the peaceful kind, the heavy kind. The kind of silence that fills your apartment when you come home from work, drop your bag, and no one asks how your day was. The kind that seeps into your skin and whispers, "Is this really all there is?" I was exhausted, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually even. Smiling at people I didn't like, saying, "I'm fine," when I wasn't. I had spent years trying to be the guy everyone expected, the reliable one, the strong one, the fixer. But no one ever asked if I needed fixing too. I remember this one night, I came home late, another long day at a job that drained me, and I just stood in front of the mirror. I looked like someone I barely recognized, tired eyes, shoulders slumped, not unhappy exactly, just missing. That night, something in me cracked, not in a bad way, more like the sound of a seed splitting before it blooms. And I asked myself out loud, "Malik, when was the last time you did something just for you?" I couldn't answer. I realized I'd spent so long trying to be enough for others, parents, partners, bosses, friends, that I forgot to be enough for myself. So I made a quiet decision. Nothing dramatic, no quitting my job or disappearing to some mountaintop. Just small acts of self-respect. Tiny revolutions. I started waking up 10 minutes earlier to sit with a cup of tea without my phone. I unfollowed people on social media who made me feel like I wasn't doing enough. I started journaling, not long essays, just a few honest lines each day. And most importantly, I stopped apologizing for taking care of myself. At first it felt weird. Saying no felt selfish. Taking time off felt lazy. But over time, I started noticing something. Peace. Not the kind someone else gives you. The kind you build brick by honoring who you are, even when no one's watching. One day, I walked into work and didn't shrink myself. I didn't over-explain. I didn't fake a smile. I was just Malik. And that was enough. The people who couldn't accept that, well, they made room for the ones who could. Self-love isn't loud. It doesn't always look like spa days and affirmations. Sometimes it's saying, "I'm not okay," and letting that be true. Sometimes it's walking away from what's familiar because it no longer fits the version of you that's growing. It's choosing yourself in a world that constantly tells you you're not enough unless you're everything to everyone. But I've learned this. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be real. And being real means being kind, first and foremost, to myself. So yeah, now, when I say I love myself, it's not arrogance. It's survival. It's healing. It's home. And if you're listening to this, maybe it's time you chose yourself too. Not tomorrow, not when you've earned it, now, because you don't have to wait to be whole. You already are. You just have to remember. They don't tell you that once you choose yourself, you'll have to keep choosing yourself, every single day. It's not a one-time thing. It's not like you wake up one morning full of self-love and everything magically stays that way. Nah, man. It's a process. Some days you show up for yourself. Other days you disappear into the background. And I'll be honest, I had a rough patch not long after that moment of clarity. The mirror night, as I call it. At first, I was on fire, meditating, eating better, journaling, saying no without guilt. But life doesn't always let you stay in that flow. Stress creeps back in. Expectations knock on the door again. Old patterns come dressed as comfort. I remember one weekend, a few months after I started changing things. I got a call from my ex, not the toxic one, the one who was actually good to me, the one I pushed away because I didn't believe I deserved something soft. She asked how I'd been, and for a second, it felt like nothing had changed, like I could slip back into that old version of myself, the guy who smiled through discomfort just to keep the peace. But this time, I paused. I listened to my body. My chest was tight. My gut was loud. I told her the truth, that I wasn't ready to be anything for someone else until I could fully be something for myself, that I was still learning how to love me, consistently, kindly, even when I didn't feel lovable. She understood. And you know what? That conversation didn't end in drama. It ended in peace. That's when I realized self-love isn't just about breaking down, it's about choosing to stay. Staying with yourself on the bad days, staying with your growth even when no one claps for it, staying with the uncomfortable conversations, staying with the version of you that's still learning how to be enough. I started doing this thing, I call it checking in with Malik. Every Sunday night, I sit down with a cup of something warm, no music, no screens, just me. I ask myself, where am I today? What do I need? Am I living for others again, or am I showing up for me? Sometimes the answer is, I'm tired and I need rest. Sometimes it's, I'm lonely, but I'm proud of my growth. And sometimes it's just silence. But that silence no longer scares me, because now I know how to fill it. With patience, with kindness, with truth. Self-love, I've learned, isn't always about big transformations. It's often about staying in the room with yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. It's saying, I see you, I hear you, I won't abandon you, even when it's hard. That's the love I needed all along. Not just someone else's love, mine. And if you're hearing this right now, maybe this is your reminder to check in, to breathe, to come home, again, to yourself. Because loving yourself once is brave, but choosing to stay with yourself over and over again, that's real strength. Now that you've heard my story, I need you to hear this. You don't need permission to choose yourself. You don't need to hit rock bottom to wake up. You don't need to be fixed. You just need to come back to you. Start small, sit with yourself, be honest, and when it feels uncomfortable, stay anyway. That's where the healing begins. You won't get it right every day. That's okay. Self-love isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about showing up for yourself, again and again, even when it's messy. And if you're waiting for the right time, let this be it. This is your moment. This is your reminder. You are worthy. You are enough. You are already becoming. So, go ahead. Choose yourself, not just once, but every time. Because no one else can live your truth. No one else can be your home. Only you. And trust me, you're worth it. If this story touched you in any way, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I share more stories like this, about self-love, personal growth, and real-life reflections. We're building a space where you can feel seen, heard, and supported. New content is on the way, and I'd love to have you here